Hey, what's up you guys? So today I just felt like filming a casual mukbang with y'all. I decided to wear my Shane Dawson pig shirt, repping Shane Dawson while I'm pigging out today. And I'm so ready to eat. I'm starving. I just got off work and we're gonna just dive right in. I've got a few things that I wanna talk about with you guys today while I eat. You can probably tell from the title what those things are. And yeah, we're just gonna get started. So, I have got some chips, some queso dip, because queso is literally heaven, and a dang quesadilla. So let's go. All right, so I'm just gonna start with the quesadilla. It's been a minute since I've filmed one of these. I guess, since I'm wearing my Shane Dawson merch, I guess that the first thing I'll talk about that I really loved watching recently, I feel like the theme of this mukbang is what I've watched recently because I've seen a lot of good movies and shows and everything lately. So, Shane Dawson's Jeffree Star series. That recently happened. It was 5 parts, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I thought it was incredible. Shane is like seriously stepping up his content so much recently. I mean, I always loved his videos, but like lately they're just like insane. Also, Jeffree Star is such an interesting person. Like, I'd really like to see Shane do these sort of like secret life of blank a lot, because I think there's a lot of really interesting YouTubers that he could do it about. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think I learned a ton about Jeffree Star, obviously, and I literally love him now. Like, I cannot stop watching Jeffree Star videos. I think he's so funny. And I really do just like feel for him. Like, I won't give anything away, I guess, in case some of you haven't watched it, but sort of the more serious stuff he talks about towards the end of the series is obviously super, super sad. Him and Nate are so cute together. I'm obsessed. But yeah, I also love the like Jeffree Star, Trisha Paytas combo. They're everything when they film together. I cannot believe that Taco Bell sent Jeffree Star a PR package. That's everything. That is what dreams are made of. I feel like I've seen PR packages from like McDonald's floating around. Oh my God, that would be a dream too. Can you imagine? Just like receiving like, I feel like people got like McDonald's hypebeast stuff, like sweatpants and stuff. Like, that's wild. I need that. Will I forget that? Probably not. A ton of good movies have been coming out recently. Any of you who are new here just forgot I'm a film major, so I love me some films, obviously. And just so many good things are coming out. Like, there's so many movies I'm excited about that I haven't seen yet. Like, I really want to go see Christopher Robin. And then later this week I'm going to see Mile 22. Honestly, I don't know like anything about Mile 22, but I'm mainly seeing it because my girl CL is playing a role in it. I don't know how big her part is or small. I hope it's a bigger role. But me and my friend are going to see that like literally just for her. I know nothing else about the movie other than that it looks action-y and Mark Wahlberg is in it. But I'm going to be seeing that later this week. Recently I saw Crazy Rich Asians, which I'm going to talk quite a bit about today. And I also saw 8th Grade, which I'm also going to talk about a bit. Bo Burnham's 8th Grade movie. I saw Ant-Man and Wasp. I really loved that movie. I thought it was really great. Never disappointed by Marvel's movies. Loved it. After credit scene blew my mind. If you've seen it, you know what I mean. If you haven't, watch it. Not gonna ruin it for anybody. So I guess let's talk about Crazy Rich Asians. It is the first, I believe, I don't want to say first because if I'm wrong, I don't want to give misinformation, but it is either the first or one of the few movies to be released from Hollywood in a lot of years. I feel like I read somewhere that it was like 20 years, 40 years since there's been an all-Asian cast. I don't really know, or primarily Asian cast. I'm not really sure how accurate that is. I honestly can't remember where I saw the information. But obviously, just as being somebody who lives in America and sees what Hollywood releases and what like the music industry releases, regardless of when the last movie with a mainly Asian cast was released, it's quite obvious that it's been a while and that there aren't enough. Diversity in Hollywood is still obviously an issue. Not just for Asian entertainers, but for other people as well. that's something that I would love to fix if I ever get the chance to break into Hollywood as a filmmaker. I would love to have a lot more diversity in the things that I create. So being somebody who really wanted to see that change, I am really, really glad that that movie happened. Also, there was one released to Netflix. I believe it's called like All the Boys I've Loved or something along those lines. I still need to check that one out, but I know it's like I don't know if it's an Asian cast or if it's just an Asian female lead. I'm not totally sure, but I know that that one was talked about in an article that I read about Crazy Rich Asians. And girl, I've read quite a few articles. I won't go too into depth on the articles I've read because some of them go into some touchier subjects. I think that's very interesting and obviously things that attention should be brought to. So I'll link some of those in the description down below for you guys because I think they're really interesting reads if you're really interested in sort of all this Crazy Rich Asians hype that's been going around. So certainly leave those down below for you. I feel like if you've been following it at all, obviously there's been a lot of praise and there's been a little bit of controversy surrounding it. Personally, I don't really want to talk about the controversy much, if at all, because I don't feel like I'm in the place to discuss those things. A lot of it revolves around how Asian Americans were portrayed or casting things, and just as being not Asian. Just as not an Asian American, I feel like it's not my place to go into the more controversial aspects of the film that surrounds Asian Americans. So instead, I'm going to focus on mostly the positive things. But please look down below. I'll leave some articles that have talked about some of the more controversial things that I believe most of those, or at least some of those, are probably written by Asian American writers. So check those out for sure, because I think those are really important topics to discuss. This movie is sparking a lot of discussion, and that's great. I think that was honestly the purpose of this film, was like, let's get talking. Let's get talking about why this hasn't happened yet. Like, why hasn't there been a Crazy Rich Asians yet? You know, like, not even that specific movie, but why has there not been, like, many Hollywood movies with Asian leads, let alone an Asian cast? And I think it's so important to draw attention to that. I think it's so important that movie came out. I was so excited about it. I'm somebody who has always, since I was a little kid, been really, really interested in, I guess, Asian media and Asian culture. I really enjoy watching things like anime or like Korean dramas, Japanese dramas, Taiwanese dramas, Korean films, things like that. Like, obviously K-pop and like K-pop music videos and stuff. So being somebody that's really interested in that, it sucks to not see like any representation of Asians in American media. Like, it's rare, and that sucks. That's stupid. It's rare, and oftentimes, it's gotten better lately, but oftentimes it's pretty stereotypical, which is not cool. But I mean, I feel like a lot of shows and stuff recently, like I know 13 Reasons Why, I didn't watch it, but I know that there is an Asian actor in it, Ross Butler, and then Riverdale had Ross Butler and now has Charles Melton, I think that's his name. I'm probably getting it wrong. I love Riverdale, but I'm definitely probably mixed up his name. But I think that's great, but that there's been more representation slowly, but I really think Crazy Rich Asians is just the thing we needed to be like, boom, here it is, all Asian cast, primarily. I can't remember if there's non-Asian people in it. Like, boom, Asian cast, there you go. And it's getting people talking. That's what we needed, get people talking. But I hope that makes them realize, like, why are we not being more diverse? Like, what is the reason behind that? Like, get actors of all, you know, all races, all ethnicities, all walks of life. We need them all. And yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot more Asian representation in Hollywood and hopefully the music industry as well, with K-pop groups kind of breaking in and that kind of thing. I mean, I think it'll be a great example to young Asian Americans, to be seeing more, you know, role models and people like them in those kind of industries. And I really do hope it opens doors for Asian American actors and singers and all of that, because I think that's so important, obviously. So that's a very positive thing about Crazy Rich Asians, drawing a lot of great attention and creating a lot of opportunities, I hope, for the future. It's a step that needed to be taken, and I'm so glad someone did it. I really want to read the book now. The movie was really great. I don't want to go too deep into it because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. Please go see it if you haven't. It's such an important film. And yeah, I mean, I went and saw it with my boyfriend. He really liked it. He's an Asian American. I know not all Asian Americans have loved it, but he really loved it. I know he said he related to a lot of the stuff in it. He's Chinese American, which the movie revolves around Chinese Americans. Well, I guess Chinese Americans and Chinese people that live in Singapore. Please go see it if you haven't already. I know I want to read the books. I hope there's a sequel. It's great. I might see it a second time. Go see it. Next, I guess I'll talk a little bit about 8th grade. Girl, I'm talking a mile a minute. But 8th grade, so good. Oh my God, such a good movie. Bo Burnham directed and wrote it. I've been really excited to see it. It's a great movie. It's a tough movie to watch. It's a very uncomfortable movie, and I think that's what he was going for. I guess I've never had a movie do such a good job at making me feel like the main character, if that makes sense. Like, you feel the discomfort, like, in your bones. Like, I don't know how to explain it. People who have seen it will understand what I mean. That's another one that's really cool to check out. I don't know if it's for everyone, but I think it's definitely a great movie, and it's something very different than anything I've seen recently. But basically, it follows a girl who's in 8th grade, and she just has, you know, all of the awful experiences of 8th grade, and you watch her live through it, basically. And it's so painful, and I feel like it brings up past memories. Like, you're just sitting there like, oh, I know how that feels. Or even the stuff where you don't know how it feels, you're just like, oh God. And if you've seen it, you know that there's a very uncomfortable scene. It's really uncomfortable to watch. It's really hard to watch. Like, I feel like as an adult, it makes you go into like full-on parent mode. Like, oh God, like no. Like, it makes you so scared for her, and like just, it really kicks in like your parental instincts. You're like, oh God, like it's gonna be scary for my kids to grow up one day when I have them. Life is getting tougher, I feel like, for younger people. I mean, 8th grade and middle school was always rough, but I feel like it just gets harder every year. Like, I feel like the faster people are growing up, and with all the social media and everything, it was really interesting to see, like, into the lives of 8th graders, like, present day. And I think Bo Burnham did an amazing job with the film. Quesadilla completed. Now I'm just going to eat some of these chips, and then I guess I'll let y'all go. I just want to talk about some of the movies I've seen recently, because there's obviously been some big ones. Like, I feel like I haven't gotten all my thoughts across about Crazy Rich Asians. I feel like there's more I wanted to talk about, but I don't want to delve too much into like the really interesting stuff about it, because I don't know. I don't know if you guys get what I mean by that, but I just feel like it's not really my place to talk about. It's not like my story to tell, you know what I mean? You know, I don't know what it's like to be an Asian American. Like, do I know Asian Americans? And do I vaguely know some things they go through and some things they experience? Yes. But do I know how it feels to be an Asian American and be a part of an Asian family, which is very highly focused on in the film? No, I don't. So I feel like it's not my place to really delve into these like criticisms that the movies had, or some of the praises, and just, I don't know. But I really did read an interesting article that Dumbfounded, a Korean American rapper, posted on Instagram, I believe. It's a really interesting article. I'm definitely gonna link that one down below for you guys. And it talks a little bit about that Netflix movie that I mentioned earlier. It's the best queso in the world. And I guess just like, I'm trying to think of an example of one of the things, just so maybe I can intrigue you guys to read the article. Well, I guess, I can't remember if this was in that article or not, but I know somewhere I read something about there being talk of the lead female role being played by a white girl, I believe. I don't know if it was something that was ever considered. I don't think it was ever considered. I don't know who mentioned it, honestly. It could have just been somebody who had nothing to do with the movie. I honestly don't know. But it brought up this interesting point of kind of like, I guess it was focusing on like, that's not every Asian American story. Like some Asian Americans, I guess, face the issue of not only bringing back your Asian American girlfriend back to your family, but bringing back like a white American or like, you know, just somebody that's not Asian. And obviously I think that would make a really interesting movie. I think that'd be a really interesting thing to see because I think, you know, there's a lot of interracial couples. I'm personally dating a Chinese American. I don't really have to deal with the things that happen in that movie because he's like third, fourth generation or something like that, Asian American. So, but yeah, I think that'd be an interesting thing to see as somebody who could relate on that level. I don't think that this movie, I don't think it was right for this movie. Mainly because I think the point of this movie, a big point of it was more give Asian American actors an opportunity and a platform and a stage, and I think that that could have taken away from that. But I do think that's a really interesting thing for the future, because obviously this one film couldn't tell the story of all Asian Americans, obviously. And it mainly told the story of Chinese Americans. So, you know, there's going to be like Korean Americans, Japanese Americans, Filipino Americans, all types of Asian Americans. And I think that it'd be great to get to see all of those different types of stories told on the big screen. But I guess I did think it was a little unfair to hold this film accountable for so much. I feel like it was put really high on this pedestal for doing something different and making a big difference in Hollywood right now that's definitely needed, especially after like the films like Ghost in the Shell and like Death Note and like Japanese films that were adapted into American versions and probably should have showcased Asian American actors as the leads and things like that, but didn't. So I think it was really important for this to happen. It needed to. And I think that a bigger burden was put on this film's shoulders, maybe than it could have handled. But I think that it really did do a lot and make a huge difference. I thought it was a great film. Even if you're just looking at it as a movie standpoint, nothing to do with the message it spreads or the opportunities it gave. If you just look at it as just a movie, I thought it was a great movie. Really great. I'm so bad at eating and talking. But yeah, I mean, obviously, we need to see many, many, many more Asian American stories told to cover them all and to be able to represent everybody equally. But I think that this film did a great job being one of the first or the first. Once again, I don't really want to call it the first just in case I'm getting my information wrong, especially because there's this Netflix one that I still haven't checked out. And yeah, I guess let me know if you guys want some more like movie mukbangs. I feel like that's what I'm doing right now. They're just like giving movie reviews in mukbang form. And yeah, I guess other than that, I've been watching some really good shows. I watched Oh My Ghost, a Korean drama that's incredible. Maybe I'll make a video about that separate. I'm not really sure. I've been meaning to talk about some great Korean dramas I've watched because I've watched so many good ones. But it's harder to talk about like shows. I feel like so much happens and there's so much that I can't talk about without spoiling things. So I've been putting that off, but Oh My Ghost is great. Check it out on Netflix if you like Korean dramas. Also, I encourage you to check out those articles I mentioned and go see Crazy Rich Asians. Watch that Netflix movie that the article talks about. I think it could be really interesting. I'm definitely going to watch it soon. Maybe this weekend I'll check it out. I know I didn't eat too much of this queso on camera. I'm going to spare y'all and finish my chips and queso off camera because it's too hard for me to be like crunching away and talking to you guys. But check those things out for sure. I have so many things on my need to watch list. If you guys want to see more of these eating shows where I just talk about what I've been watching lately, I would love to do that. It's so much fun. I love discussing this stuff with people. Let me know your thoughts on Crazy Rich Asians in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you whether you're Asian American or not. I think it's great to get to see all perspectives of what people thought of the movie, and let me know what you think of the articles if you decide to check them out. I think they're really interesting. So if, you know, Asian representation in American media is something that interests you, that might just be me being a film nerd who took like Asian studies classes and like digital studies and just wants to like analyze these types of things, but I think it's interesting. The articles are short. I don't have much of an attention span for reading, so it's not too long, I promise. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button down below if you're new here. I'd really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys later. Bye.